Welcome back to Just in Our Minds. Today we have, and we're blessed to have, one of California's legends of the underground and the professional skateboarding scene, in my opinion, Robby Hargreaves. He's been a friend of mine for a long time. He's out here skating for the Kilby Block Party. We get into all things skateboarding. We talk mindset, and then we also kind of talk about his path from last year to this year and all the competitions that he's been doing lately. Right now, although he is not old, he is one of the older skaters out there, killing it on the scene. Top 5 for most of the competitions. So this is a great podcast. Robby, welcome back. Welcome to the great state of Utah. Robby said he's moving here. He's going to become a coach here.
I've been pondering the idea, man. The Utah Sports Commission is really just they've dived into like building skate parks everywhere.
Dude, everywhere.
I did look on the map for skate parks, and there was like over 50.
Yeah, just in Salt Lake County. Even.
Yeah, I didn't even expand the search area. You know, I was like, whoa. I got overwhelmed just by a 25-mile radius.
Yeah. And a lot of them now are dope. Well, that Draper one's a little rough, but that one gives me like early 2000s, almost skate park vibes.
We'll say college park vibes.
Yeah, exactly. Except because trying to go up on that coping is just like, when I dropped in on that, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, you hurt your side. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's you know what, like, have you ever been up? You've been on some like where people don't know how to, they don't put down like the particle board.
Yeah,
and it's just like ding ding ding.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like.
We call it like
with the acrylic.
When you have people that like build sidewalks, they get hired to build a skate park, and like everything's like a curb cut.
Yeah. They asked his son's opinion, but instead they let his son do it. Yeah, it is exactly what it felt like. But I mean, at least it's there. People love it. There's a lot of bikers that go on that park, which makes sense, or scooters. But yeah, it feels like a scooter park. Dude, Harriman skate park's by far my favorite.
But that skate park was probably built before like scooters were like really a thing.
That one, no, I don't think so.
No, not Harriman, but
the Draper one.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know when that one was built, but Draper's hasn't been.
I mean, I guess skateboards were scooters, and then like handles got.
Oh yeah, but I feel like most of these skate parks were built in the last 10 years.
Okay.
Like every year, there's a new skate park that gets opened up.
Yeah, the one in Washington, Utah, man.
Have you seen that one,
dude?
So the one in Washington, he could tell you about it. The thing's huge. You said 2 football fields?
Dude, it's like 2 football fields. There's like BMX, like jump track around the outside. There's 2 separate pump tracks for skateboards. It's actually called an all wheels park, which I think a lot of places are starting to do, because then you can't be like, hey, get out of here, you're on a scooter. It's like,
right.
No, the park's an all wheels park. My scooter's got wheels. So. Yeah. Roller skates, skateboards.
Do you think one wheel should be accepted?
Well,
those things are gnarly.
All wheels.
Yeah.
And so wheels being plural, then no.
No, yeah.
But there is a sign that says no electric vehicles.
Yeah.
So one wheel would fall into that category. Yeah. Now, I mean, unicycle, yeah, why not? Like it's not an electric electric vehicle.
I've seen was it a video I watched, like somebody doing it, and they had like peg or it wasn't even a peg. I don't think it might have been it was the pedal, and he hops up and like
I would say pegs would be kind of challenging, because then
you wouldn't be able to pedal.
Yeah, when you pedal, you're being obstructed by the peg.
Just kink.
You can only go like a half pedal, and you have to have like a chain that slips, like a fixed gear bike.
Might as well. It's just basically like what is the other one? A pogo stick. A half pedal pogo stick.
I haven't seen a pogo stick at a skate park yet.
No, me neither. But some of those kids are crazy. I remember I went down a rabbit hole of that, and them doing like they're just like freaking hopping 10 feet in the air.
When I was working with Braille, we had some guys on pogo sticks that came up, and they were a kid pogoed up the Braille drop, which was. I mean, it's like a 12-foot drop. You know, it's pretty crazy to see that. And then, I think he jumped off of like the guardrail, which is like another 4 feet down to flat, which was like, just watching that stuff. You're like, you're holding your breath.
What are you doing?
Like just waiting for a disaster to strike.
Man,
So
I've seen some
they're
people.
like backflipping over the fence in the parking lot.
I've seen some people eating crap on those damn things, like in a garage.
Yeah, slippery ground. There's no grip.
So what have you been up to, brother? Like you're out here. Yeah, we could start there. You're skating this weekend you've just been on a skate tour coming up to this area.
We could call it that. I was in Las Vegas last week for the, now I'm getting my contest mixed up, for the curb show. And that went pretty well.
Did they have curbs? Like were there curbs?
They had a couple curbs. The curbs weren't really featured as much as they were last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was the curb show. They had like a kind of big 14 set and then like a kind of mini Wallenberg gap. Both of those I kind of opted out of skating. Just risk and reward. There's a lot of risk for me skating that kind of stuff. Not too much reward. They did have a shop deck showdown, basically, which was they were announcing shop deck of the year. I did submit my Rob the Builder board for that, and I won the voting portion, the people's choice. So Rob the Builder was shop deck of the year. So that was kind of cool being there for that.
Yeah.
They had a 14-foot vert ramp. I skated the vert contest. I am not a vert skater, and that ramp was terrifying, but I stepped up to the plate and inspired some street skaters to actually jump into the contest as well. So that was pretty cool.
And it's cool, too. That's something that you were talking to me about prior to being on here, and since you've been here the last couple of days, is although you're not old, you were one of the old. You were the most
most age
develops. Yeah.
I was the oldest guy at that contest, and I'll probably be the oldest guy competing at the contest this weekend at Skull Candy Crusher Cup, which is at the Kilby Block Party. When I was in Tampa in April, I definitely wasn't the oldest guy in that contest. There were some guys that were, in their early 50s. But, kind of retired pros, business owners. It's the industry aspect of Tampa Pro. Mm-hmm. And that was a lot of fun, too. I got 6th place in that one.
Do they have any Masters competitions?
I'm not there yet. Yeah, I got, I guess, 2 more years. 40 qualifies you as Masters division.
That's cool.
Yeah, so, I don't know if I'm looking forward to that. Like, I still think I can hang out and compete with the 20-year-olds.
Well, if you're in your 40s, are you still allowed to compete with the younger guys, or is
I think it's probably better for me to compete with the Masters.
Yeah, because
I've been skating longer than those kids have been alive. So and as you get older, you don't. I mean, you think you move around as well as you did when you were in your 20s, but those guys are definitely doing tricks and things that are way more elite than I was doing even in my 20s. But that's just kind of
the bar set. Yeah, so
that's
high.
Natural progression, man.
And the social media aspect. So they just have endless. Remember, for us, we'd have to save up to go buy a VHS tape, and then you have 10 kids come sit around and watch it.
My first skate video was on a floppy disk.
Yeah,
not that I watched, but the first where I put my footage, I put it on a floppy disk. Mm-hmm. And it probably wasn't even a video. It's probably just photos.
I think I remember the small VHS tapes that go into the bigger one.
Yeah.
What, you remember those? That's what I remember. Yeah. The camcorder with the smaller tape. Yeah. And you put it in the bigger one so you could watch it.
Yeah.
I don't remember what those are called.
My first skate video, I had to, plug in the camera to the VCR, put a tape in the VCR, watch it back on the TV. And then when I wanted to record, I had to record it through the VHS player. So, it's definitely different now.
Dude, that'd be cool to there are probably skaters and stuff out there that shoot stuff like that still, but that'd be kind of fun.
There might be one.
Yeah. It'd be cool to do a small, a vlog or something like that, even though you have your cell phone, just get some clips like that and have somebody do it.
That'd be interesting.
30-year-old camera.
Yeah. Yeah. So I definitely have been kind of on a little skate tour, since basically the middle of April. I was gone for 3 weeks, drove out to Tampa Bay, Florida, drove back, had an opportunity to speak at a church in Fort Stockton, Texas. The church was called Northside, and shout out to Aaron Owens, super rad dude. Got to meet him and talk to him, and he invited me to come and speak with kind of the youth on a Wednesday night, which was a lot of fun. So that ended up happening on my way back, and just kind of sharing my story with them and uplifting. Like the community is small there, but there is a lot of like kind of younger kids. There's not a lot to do. So just encouraging them to, kind of follow the things that maybe are more spiritual uplifting than the things that are more visually appealing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%. And for you, you give like in the first podcast, that your story, overcoming cancer, overcoming addiction, thinking about the roadblock of being too old for skating and getting back in it, and then leveling up even more, starting to win competitions or placing top 5 in almost every competition you go to, I think, right? From what I hear.
Yeah, I mean,
word on the street.
I mean, it just depends. Like, you can't win them all. But I've won a couple contests this year. They're probably a little bit smaller contests. The bigger ones, just like the curb show, there was like over 70 competitors, and to place.
You still top. You finished pretty high up there.
Yeah, I think I finished 26th. I'm not 100% sure. So I tend to not even like, it's just about being there.
Yeah.
It's not really about winning. Like if I win, I'm always like, wait, what? Me? I won? No. Like,
yeah.
It's just about being there, with the vert contest. I've never skated in a vert contest, and I thought there's no chance in heck that like I qualified for the finals. And then the next day they're like, yo, Robby, what are you doing? Like, you're just walking around. Like, where's your board? Where's your helmet? I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, dude, you're in the vert finals. And I'm like, no, I yeah. And like to actually be in a spot where I'm like, I mean, I did frantically try to like, I got to drive to the hotel, get my board. I couldn't find my helmet or my knee pads. They were under the registration desk from the day before. I tried to get my stuff together to be able to compete, but then at the end of it, I was like, you know what? It's all good. I'll just come back next year, and skate in the vert contest.
Well, so I guess now maybe that you're like, well, do I do a few more vert or bowl competitions?
Yeah, I think the vert, like, I think I might maybe start doing a little bit more vert competitions. It's a little bit easier on like your body as far as like impact.
As long as you got knee pads, right?
Yeah, knee pads. Yeah, and I actually I figured out how to knee slide, which was like always a fear of mine. It's like how do you just like fall to your knees confidently, but I figured it out. It's just like as you're coming back down into the vert ramp, like just touching the ramp with like your foot, your hand, something to kind of take away the initial impact. And then just to go to your knees, but then you want to stand up on your knees, and you don't want to sit back on your heels because you can actually break your ankle like that. So it is pretty interesting. It's a different form of falling, I would say.
Yeah.
There was definitely one of my runs where I tried to run out, and like you're not going to be able to run out, and I took like a street fall in the vert ramp, and like my friend Dave, he was like, yo, are you okay? Like, cause it definitely wasn't a graceful fall on a 14-foot vert ramp, you know?
Cause there's like the ones where you're just like, oh, flat. And that's a long way down.
Yeah. And it wasn't like I fell to flat. It was, I did something.
Just like the tuck and roll.
Yeah. And then mind you, everything that I was doing was like below coping. I was not like, flying high into the air.
Yeah,
like,
40 feet in the air.
I was lucky to, I did a slash grind on the coping, which is probably the biggest quarter pipe I've ever done a slash grind on. 14 feet is, it's pretty up there.
That's a big ramp.
I was getting nervous just watching these guys like who are like skilled in it, and they're like doing like airs like at my head level above coping. And I'm like terrified, like shaking, like,
oh no!
I'm like, oh, careful, like
tighten your helmet.
Yeah. So your knee pads undone.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a fun experience, and then like being able to like gracefully like, hey, I'm gonna sit this one out, But yeah, I do see maybe some more vert competitions in my life coming up.
Mm-hmm. I think it's cool to see that there are different levels of like skating still for you, because like you've tried out like some drop-ins and bowls and things like that for fun, but it's cool to have like that extra. And it's definitely seems like, you know, the Buckies and the Tony Hawks and they have a longer career with some of that vert skating that I feel like than some of the street skaters. It seems like you were saying, there's a lot less impact.
Yeah, there's a lot less impact.
Because you're not just all in over a 15 stair trying to catch like a chest high handrail and
then who knows what happens.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, I feel like there's a little bit more risk involved with street skating.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more variables, where vert skating, you know, is kind of, I think each ramp is different from what I've experienced. Like, just is my little vert skating, like, by all means, I wouldn't consider myself like an experienced or even like intermediate. I'm like a beginner vert skater.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's there's beauty to that, like going from like somebody who is or was like pretty experienced or advanced in street skating, and then like, you know what, I'm gonna go and be a beginner and go figure out how to like ride a vert ramp. You know, I used to do airs and stuff when I was a kid, but like at skate parks and I still do airs, you know.
Dude, I used to love hip transfers. Once I was able to learn how to do that,
hip transfers are fun.
Yeah, that was like probably some of my favorite stuff. You know, like come up, I don't remember the terms for them anymore, but just like that kind of stuff. I was like, I'm a real skateboarder now.
Yeah, I mean, who needs terms, right? It's like,
yeah. What is that called?
Flying.
You'll come up, and then you'll be able to do like a 180, and then you'll come back down the other sid.
It's called flying.
Flying, hell yeah. Yeah. Peter Pan spins.
Yeah. So are you?
So for me, I guess it was at the Lompoc skate park, that I remember on that corner.
The rounded hip.
Yeah, and then I skate goofy, so I came up. Was that backside?
Would you go back into fakie, or would you?
No, I would come back around like.
Oh, like 270.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Like an LU, LU pair.
Yeah,
or
there we go.
270 if it's on a hip and you're turning. Let's say
front side. I don't remember
terms. Well, would you go into the bowl or out of the bowl?
So it would be off that corner, up, and then I'd turn over to my.
But so you turn to your right, but are you going into the bowl or out of the bowl? Because if you're going out of the bowl and then you're landing regular, so it'd be a front side 270.
Okay, front side then.
But if you're going into the bowl, then it would just be, and you're turning to the right, then it'd be LU front side air.
Okay.
Yeah. Or, well, I guess LU 180.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the two.
I mean, the terminology for skateboarding, I mean, it's pretty endless.
Oh, dude. And then it seems like there's still new tricks being made, which is crazy.
I know. Yeah. I like sometimes I'll like hear like new, like, oh, dragon flip. And I'm like, what?
Like, you just got to set your board on fire. You got to shoot a laser flip. Yeah.
Well, and then you got to inhale the smoke.
Yeah.
And then you do a kick flip while you're breathing it out. Yeah.
And then 360 body varial, laser flip the other direction.
I think a dragon flip's a double tray flip.
Yeah, I think that's why I've seen that one. That one's wild.
Yeah.
Now they got like all these freaking like rear foot impossible, then double kick flip. You're like, what the how are you doing all this crazy stuff? These kids, especially these like Japanese kids, are crazy.
Yeah. Well, Japan's really like kind of stepped it up. Like they got skate parks like on top of sky rises, and you know, I think having like Yuto win the Olympic gold medal, and then just, I mean, that kind of, I think it kind of built a platform for like Japan to get behind. Like, oh wait, they're like, we're actually good at this. Like, we have people in our country that are really good at this. And like, they have some of the best skateboarders in the world right now. It's really cool to see.
And a lot of them, it seems like so many of them are super young too.
Super young. So I'm not familiar with Japanese culture, but I would imagine when they find something, and this is what it seems like. So when they find something that's like worth it for them to put all their energy into, then like their whole family will support that, and they'll like get behind it, and they'll like whatever you need,
And
which is really cool.
Yeah, I watched a documentary on it, and they were talking about them being more dedicated to honor and like the respect for craft.
Yeah.
Like in a lot of ways. So yeah, I agree. That's it's just wild. I was watching that. And
I feel like in our country,
11-year-old riding
at some
Mullins?
point you're like, I don't know, 14 or 16, or your parents are like, yeah, I know you love that, but like you got to get a job. And it's like, well, hold up. Like when I was a kid, you're like, you could do whatever you want.
Just not that.
Yeah. And then you're older and like, yeah, I know I said that, but like you got,
Yeah, there's no 401k with that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And obviously, we all got to make a living.
Yeah.
But why not like have your kid pursue making a living in the thing that he loves the most?
Well, it's hard too, because I feel like there's a lot of parents and people out there that they take so much pride in their kids that their ego gets involved. Like, does that make sense? I'm sure you see it with skateboarding and other stuff too. It's like,
yeah.
I know pro athletes that'll talk about it with like their kids' teams and things like that. It's like these parents that have never played a sport or never played high level sports, and they're trying to be this professional coach for their kids.
Yeah.
And being way too hard on them for everything too.
Yeah. They're living through their kids, sport, or, they're like trying to relive their glory, or maybe they're trying to fulfill their vision or dream through their kid.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like living.
Let him live that
like
dream.
trying to create the individual that you weren't through your kids. But yeah, I think that's a big one. But it's just an art form too, so it's fun. Other than it just being like a career path, it's just like a good outlet for kids to be able to. And then you level up, like, because everybody was scared of stair sets and handrails and kick flips and hitting your shins, and I think it builds grit, like just like anything, other
you're
sport.
accepting the danger, the hazard,
and the body awareness it creates is wild.
Yeah. And you're facing it head on, and then like you fall down and you're like, okay, that wasn't as bad as my mind was like making it out to be. And then just like getting back up and trying it again, and I think there's something to that, like it builds adversity. And like through life, we all are going to get knocked down.
What were some of the hardest, like early on for your skating, what were some of the hardest roadblocks you think? Like for me, I remember it was like dropping into big stuff, like learning to drop in and then dropping into on like bigger ramps, like in Solvang, like going from like Lompoc Skate Park to Solvang. I'm like,
this is like twice as tall.
Yeah. Being inside a bowl,
the mental side of it, man, that's like, overcoming the mental fear. Because, your mind is meant to protect you. So anytime it will definitely like, portray a scenario that's maybe not accurate to protect you, to get you to kind of to stray away from things that are like scary or make you nervous, scared, or afraid. And that's also where your dreams lie. It's like literally right on the other side of that fence, and so you have to like redirect your mind and be like, no, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. So like getting to a point of like, all right, I know my brain's telling me don't do this, but like, I'm just going to go for it and see what happens. Let me just see what happens, and usually after you do that, your brain like relaxes and it's like, oh, that wasn't so bad.
Right.
And, I still battle that, it's kind of, there was a point in my life where I didn't necessarily like battle that as much as I do now, or as much as I did when I was a kid. But like being an older skateboarder, like the whole risk and reward comes into play.
That cement's so much stronger and denser nowadays.
Oh,
like
man.
I remember I fell like maybe last year, the year before, and I was like, oh my God, 200 pounds sucks hitting the concrete.
Yeah. Okay, it's like I own Solvang Skate Shop. I run a nonprofit. I also run skateboarding classes, clinics, and programs, camps, privately, then through the city of Solvang. And, a lot of times I'll be like, like when I was in Vegas, I'm like, well, there's this like kind of uncomfortable crack right before this big rail. I'm sure I'd be fine, but the chances that I'm not, the risk is almost greater than the reward, because of everything I have going on, and so it's definitely changed the way I approach things. Like, what is the risk versus like,
do I shoot for this one big trick or do I land 3 other tricks, 4 or 5? Like you're saying, when you rope together a bunch of tricks, you landed the most without falling.
No, I would imagine I probably did. They weren't the most, high level tricks, but, it did sound like in the beginning, they were like telling people, cause they were just trying like tricks that were ridiculously too hard and nobody was landing anything. And then, Dave Duncan was like, you guys, we're just counting the tricks that you land. Just do tricks, you know? And so I'm like, okay, cool. Like,
gotcha, heard it.
I got 3 minutes. I've been doing, long distance running. Like I can handle 3 minutes just doing tricks. So, I did.
I think that's like jiu-jitsu too. They have like old man jiu-jitsu is what they call it, but it's very strategic. Like you're not going balls to the wall. You tap, like your limits, and that's like a seasoned veteran. Like you're like, okay, well, this layout kind of sucks. These cracks suck. I already went around twice. I think I can get this whole line instead of just trying to do like an impossible over a damn stair set or something.
Yeah,
or like a pressure flip.
Kick flip front blunt, shove it on the 14 stair rail. Like, I mean, I would love to do that trick. It's not something I even see myself doing. I've done a kick flip front blunt. I've done a kick flip. I've done a front blunt shove. I've never done them together, and I've never done them on a 14 stair handrail. So being at the contest, seeing that happen, I'm like, okay, well, he's probably gonna, take top prize, which he, that was one of the guys that did pretty well. But for me, it's like, I'm gonna do the things that I could do in the safety and comfort, and not like be so worried about like, oh, I'm not doing the trick on the big rail. Like, it's not necessarily about me winning. It's just about me being out there and like
just showing up, having fun.
I had so many people cheering for me and like just like being so stoked, like doing, just doing tricks that, maybe because I just kind of skate around. I'm like kind of like nonchalant, and then like at that moment, like, okay, go. They're like, whoa, what? I didn't realize he like actually, can still do some tricks.
You built up that momentum, felt the course, and then just send it.
And then
I think that's good.
Just like,
there's no reason
doing
to
everything first try. Like that feels pretty darn good. Like,
and roping together more tricks than some people did all day there in one run.
Maybe like some of the guys that made it to the finals in the street contest, they did like 4 tricks, but they were like 4 like gnarly tricks where if I took a fall on any of those tricks, like it would be hard for me to like, okay, I have this contest this weekend in Salt Lake City, and like, I wanted to make sure I was rested and my body was ready for this contest too. So
I think that's smart, especially if you have back-to-back competitions, multiple travel. Like you said, you have your nonprofit. You're going to be teaching a bunch of kids.
Yeah, next weekend. I got my nonprofit program.
While we're on the topic, we'll talk about that nonprofit program. If you'd like to explain what it is and why you're doing it, and then I'd like to also get in a couple more things. I had a couple questions for you.
So my nonprofit's called Skating for Hope. I'm a subsidiary nonprofit through Surfing for Hope. Our missions are exactly the same. It's using the platform of surfing or skateboarding as a way to encourage kids and give them hope. Now these kids, most of them, their parents, their grandma, their aunt, their uncle are dealing with cancer currently. Some of them it is terminal cancer. I have had a couple students who are dealing with cancer themselves. And so just like sharing my story of overcoming stage 4 cancer, beating the odds of what the doctors gave me, and then using skateboarding as a platform to give them hope and encouragement. They all get a free skateboard, they get safety equipment, and then we do 3 hours of instruction once a month. So this year is my second full year, and we got 12 programs scheduled this year, and it's a way for me to not just give back, but give back in a meaningful way to me, being a cancer survivor.
This episode is brought to you by Terrace Metrics. We want to thank them for being on the podcast. In a world where we're constantly trying to better understand ourselves and the people around us, Terrace Metrics is helping lead that conversation. Their platform provides professional insights into how people think, communicate, learn, and work together, helping schools, businesses, coaches, and organizations create stronger relationships and better outcomes. Whether you're developing leaders, building healthier teams, or creating environments where people can thrive, Terrace Metrics gives you practical tools backed by meaningful data to help unlock human potential. If you're ready to improve communication, strengthen your culture, and better understand the people you lead, visit Terrace Metrics to learn more. And if you reach out, make sure to let them know you heard about them on the Just in Our Minds podcast. That's terracemetrics.org. Thank you for being a sponsor. And yeah, just rippling the ponds and hopefully expanding the culture, you know?
Yeah, and I'm definitely doing that.
Oh, every day I feel like you're doing that because you're like the poster boy for like a good human that skateboards. Like, I think if more people meet people like you that are pro skaters, because, you know, some people, like, I get it, not everybody's a people person. They don't do it for the fame or whatever, but, you know, people can run into certain people and it's just not the best.
Yeah.
I haven't had any issues with skateboarders, but I heard other people but that's with actors or anything.
You know what came
to
mind when you said that? Like the poster boy for like skateboarding, doing what you're doing, is in like middle school when you're like waiting at the snack bar line and then you're like thinking, oh, what am I gonna get? And then you look over and you're like Tony Hawk and the Got Milk poster.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Or Shaun White, you know, and like, I mean, I appreciate you saying that. I know the mind is a weird thing, you know, and I definitely have kind of a self-deprecating side that I don't really share with too many people where, you know, sometimes I don't feel like I'm doing enough, or I feel like I know the last couple days, you know, just sleeping like 9 hours, and
Which is great.
Well, dude, yeah,
good for you.
It feels great now, but you know, in the moment when I'm laying in bed and it's like 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, you got so much to do, and like, you know, just like, I don't know. It's like this inner voice is like, you know, like, oh, dude, you're being lazy. Like you know, occasionally will like, I don't know. I sometimes will like beat myself up mentally. Like I'm really hard on myself.
Yeah, me too.
But I think that also
Travis too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all over here lashing.
Yeah, and you know, I mean,
fuck.
As much as I hate that side of me, because like I know there's a lot of things that I'm doing that are like really beneficial, and like, you know, Aaron Owens, the pastor at the Northside Church in Fort Stockton, texted me before I came in here today, and he was like, "Yo, I want you to know that the kids are still talking about that time when you came," and that was like a little over a month ago. You know, so to like have made an impact on those kids where they're still talking about it, you know, that makes me feel really special. And it's like, you know, sometimes I need to be reminded, like, because that inner voice sometimes will diminish the actual like output of what I'm doing. And sometimes it's louder.
Dude, I have to say, being able to get that amount of sleep, it's not every day. So that's a form of self-love and self-respect. Like being able to get 9 hours for 2 days in a row. Like, as if I was telling you, man, I'm getting 4 hours of sleep, blah, blah, blah. What would be probably the first thing you tell me? Like, dude,
get more sleep.
Get some sleep, bud. You're running too hard.
Yeah.
And especially when you go competition to competition, and we are all three in this room are definitely overachievers. Like, because sometimes even for myself, I'm like, man, I feel like I'm not doing enough. And then when you lay it out on all the things you're doing, you're like, oh, no, that's not it.
Yeah.
And it's easy to get lost in the sauce. But I think when it comes to shadow work or like your shadow side, I used to hate that version of myself too. But if you can give that version of yourself empathy, because you would never let anybody talk to me or any one of your friends the way you talk to yourself internally.
Oh, dude, absolutely.
Same with me.
Not.
And I'll catch myself more. Now I'm like,
yeah.
Even now I was going to be like, listen here, bitch. I'm like, wait, listen here.
No, I got to get better at that. Is like, you know, I mean, treating yourself like somebody you're responsible for. I think I've even said that on the last one, you know, and like it's still it's a daily thing where you got to remember,
and
like,
you're right where you are, need to be in things and words. We were just talking about not being able to talk. What? Yeah, I don't know. throwing a curveball. I didn't have enough creatine
awkwardly,
today.
I understood that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because we're all risen with the same tism. But I lost my train there. Nope, it's gone.
That's right. Get on a new train.
Yeah,
there's more. You were talking about the rhythm with the tism.
Before the tism train.
Treating yourself like you're somebody you're responsible for, not letting your inner dialogue get in the way of like, because it's almost like society wants you to like be the victim, or they want you to talk down to yourself, but it's important that you talk yourself up.
It's from a society, especially in Lompoc, and I'm sure you've experienced this too, Travis, is it's not, it might sound narcissistic, but it's like once you become a higher level individual, a lot of people are never going to become a higher level individual. So what happens is they expect you to water yourself down. So then there's a form of people pleasing in there, and then you're not accepted by your old society or the old people in your life. And like you were saying, coming out here, it's like, and Travis talks about it too, is like coming from like California, some of his ventures here, and then being in some of the community that I like to bring in here, or just around good humans. Sometimes it feels different because all of us have come up around like hecklers and people that maybe poke at you too much. And
then when you're around, I was getting poked at a lot as a kid because I was always very passionate about skateboarding, and like the guys at the park would be like sitting on the J ledge like drinking, smoking weed, and I'm like actively trying to like level up on my skateboard and like, hey Robby, why are you showing off? And it's like, bro, I'm not showing off, but like me as an empath, like I take that personal. I'm like, bro, what? Why do they think that? Like, am I doing something wrong? But just because you're the brightest light in the room, man, don't dim yourself.
Yeah, and
tell them to put your sunglasses on.
Yeah,
or not my sunglasses, put their own sunglasses. Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, it's something that I still have to overcome, even with family and old close friends. Like you can know people forever, but that doesn't mean they have to be that close to you anymore. Or you like the self-respect aspect or boundaries. When you got to get shit done. We want to do things for other people or show our support, or like for some people they buy love or whatever.
Yeah, there's a reason why.
How was that coffee place too?
Oh, dude, coffee place was good. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, sorry. Now tism.
Shiny object.
Yeah,
it's
they
no.
Yeah, you're like, this sucks.
Honeysuckle.
Yeah, Honeysuckle's good. Have you been to Honeysuckle, the coffee place? They have one in Sandy and Salt Lake.
I haven't yet.
That it's pretty good.
Ooh, I'm always looking for good coffee.
Yeah, it's very like sit down, and like there's a lot of plants, and
there was literally like there was
nowhere
nowhere to sit.
You really it's
packed. I couldn't and I had to I was standing and I was like, oh shoot.
I think they make their own bagels, and they like
bagel. I had a blueberry sourdough bagel, bro.
Sourdough. Oh, I had a breakfast sandwich from there.
Yeah. There's a reason that turkeys and eagles don't hang out. And so when you're going through your life, sometimes you think like you're trying to soar to a height, and like you got these people with you that are turkeys, and like turkeys only can go, they can only soar as high as a tree, if that, but eagles, man, they can go up into the clouds. They can soar.
I'm just imagining like if turkeys and eagles bred together. I was like, that's a fucking vulture.
Yeah, vultures, I mean, they can fly pretty high, but I don't know. Like I
get what you mean.
Yeah, because like I've definitely like gone through a period of my life where I was like, okay, there's some people I need to like weed out, but.
And then as you level up, like you said, you've been sober for a few years now. Yeah. And then you quit poking smut.
Poking smut.
Or different things, because we all have our... It was
funny, like going through like, going through like, oh, well, I can drink, but I'm not going to smoke weed. And then like, oh, well, I can smoke weed, but I'm not going to drink. And so like 2.5 years ago, I was like, okay, I'm not going to drink, but I can smoke weed.
Yeah.
And,
have you ever heard that term, Travis? California sober?
Oh, God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course.
So I actually, I'm talking to the people right now, man. There's no such thing as California sober. Like, come on. You're either sober or you're not sober. Like, you're just making an excuse for yourself. So be sober or smoke weed.
Yeah.
But you can't, just making up I don't know. I mean, I get it. Some people can function smoking weed. Like for me, it's just, I have an addictive personality.
That was
man.
so funny. Yesterday we're chilling. What did you say? Is like, yeah, you know, like sometimes you want to just, you're talking about tapping in with like some caffeine and then like an indica joint. And then he was like,
to like work on.
It works great some of the time.
It's like, I feel like I could just like smoke a joint and like work on some emails. I was like, it works sometimes.
He's just being really honest, made me laugh.
Because
you chase that dragon, you know, you're like, you get into it and you're like, ooh, oh man, this works so great this week. And then so you try it again like 3 days later or whatever. And then you're like, next thing you know, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
I've been playing video games now and I just ate 4 bags of chips. And I've gotten nothing else done.
Right? Yeah, no, I definitely know there was like a point. Like, I mean, just with anything, like if you use it as a crutch to give you like confidence to do something, like if you like when I was skating in my early 20s, like, it was almost like I needed to smoke weed before I go skating because it would like set my mind at ease rather than learn how to set my mind at ease and then go skating. Mm-hmm. Now there's like a different thing is like trying to set my mind at ease with all of the like the business, the nonprofit, the skate lessons. Like, did I forget to do something? And I'll be skating and I got this like Rolodex of like things going on in my brain, which don't allow me to be super present. So it's like, it's like every time I feel like I'm leveling up, there's still a new lesson to learn.
And that's a hard thing when you ask God for strength, you get heavier weights and you're like,
be careful what you pray for.
Yeah.
You ask for, clarity. He's going to give you things that give you clarity.
For me too, getting deeper into this acting, I was like, man, I'm ready for my blessings, and then I get hit with this stuff and I'm like, God, please teach me how to audition and act. I forgot to ask for that, because then you get roles, and then I'm like, oh shit, this is above my pay grade right now. Yeah, it's the same thing as probably you at the vert ramp or doing certain things, like you get to a certain position, like, you're like, oh shit,
owning a skate shop and
doing pretty well,
not having a website.
Yep.
Talk about a whole avenue of income that it's like I don't know what I'm doing with like e-commerce, so I'm just gonna not do it. And that
he's learning how and building his own. Travis has a background you've done a bit of that too, haven't you?
Well, what's up, Travis? Maybe help me out a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've got a online store that sells like sweatshirts and sweatpants and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's Shopify too, right?
Yeah, just like a Shopify.
Yeah,
and that's so I had an independently ran website for a while, and I thought I would be able to have the guy run it, and then hey, let me log in, and then he was like, no.
Well, he just didn't.
This is a managed website. I manage it. You have no. I'm like, wait. So I've paid you X amount of dollars, and I have no ownership of it. Okay, anything. You're fired.
Yeah, absolutely.
First guy I fired was the website guy.
That's crazy. It's probably because it was some fucking Webflow bullshit, and he didn't want you to realize that it wasn't what it was supposed to be.
Oh well,
because I've seen that too.
I was fully aware that it was just him using AI WordPress or something, maybe not WordPress, but he was using some AI, and I understood to an extent, but then when I realized I'm paying you money and I have no ownership of this, that doesn't make sense. So, now, I had to, transfer the domain, which that seemed like a bigger hassle than it ended up.
Oh, dude, my friend Marshall, he's the one that helped design my website, and it was the same thing. I'm like, man, this seems so fucking hard. And then I go over there and he just watches a YouTube video with me, and I'm like, fuck. It's one video that took 4 minutes.
Wait a second.
And I put it off for 6 weeks because I thought it was going to be this epic thing. It's all right, so you buy the domain here, and then you wait for it to get approved, and then you place it in here.
And it's funny because some of the people you talk to, they're like, oh, well, you're going to lose all your emails. You're going to and I'm like, so it's like they created this narrative that was I don't know, fear mongering. It made me feel I'm not, and it just, the way my brain works was now I've taken this thing that shouldn't be very difficult. It's just time consuming. And I've made it into dropping in on this 14-foot vert ramp. That's where I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you're the one throwing rocks on the way down, as you're dropping
somebody's
in.
throwing jacks into the bowl. No.
Fucking jacks. The way to be dated there, sir. You're just... There's a 38-year-old skater.
Yeah, right. But it just I mean, it's I think really important to like be able to be versatile in a lot of different things. Like I know the quote, jack of all trades, master of none, and like people think that's the entire quote. Did you think that's the entire quote?
It's actually Jack and Jill of all trades.
No,
I'm just kidding.
No,
I know there's more to it.
So Jack of all. Now I'm forgetting the
Jack
quote.
and Jill rode down a hill
screwed
to
up.
get all their trades.
Jack of all trades, master of none is still better than a master of one. That's 100%. The full quote.
Yeah.
And why is that second part left out? Because
people suck.
Amen. Right? But not all people.
No, most people are, unless they're good at it.
Because the person that's only good at one thing doesn't want the person who's good at multiple things to understand that they're more, we'll say it, powerful. Like there's more power to that person. Like,
goes back into the watering yourself down. Potent individuals.
If I can mow your yard
and
I can fix your deck, right? And I can maybe detail your car. Or, I can also, do your bookkeeping. Like, I mean, that person is not going to find themselves like short of work or short, of a career. If I didn't own a skate shop, like I could go build houses again, or I could go and be a bartender or a server or, I mean, there's really not anything that I can't do.
Well, we grew up in the tail end of that culture too, of like, you have to be, at least in our town, like the blue collared work was real. Like the white, like Lompoc isn't a ton of white collared work. Like there's not, you have to be good with your hands. Cause I've felt the same way. Like, even though like you see like the master carpenters and different people, and apparently like same with the skateboarders, you compare yourself to those people and it's like, well, I'm not that. But then you see the general population. I'm like, well,
I'm not that either.
You can't do a J-trap? You don't know what a J-trap is under your sink? And I'm like, oh, geez. Because going out to some of these, like in 2019, 2020, I went and helped out at some self-sustainable farms and helped them build some stuff. And I was like, some of them were some hippies, down in southern Utah. And then I watched their ideas for the designs, and I'm like, oh, no, that's not going to work, and we're not doing that.
Yeah, you're building the foundation on sand.
Yeah, I was like, they didn't even bring sand. They brought mud. And I'm like,
gosh.
You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And I'm like, no, that is not how we're going to build a frame for this stage. That makes no sense. There's no brackets. There's no structure. No, we're not doing that. Like, so it's just funny to see, because where you come from or whatever that is, like in the, like who you learn from, professionals. And sometimes it's easy to get lost in the sauce because, like you said, your skate run was you're like, well, I didn't do these 4 tricks, but 99% of people ain't doing the tricks you were doing at a skate competition, And I think it translates over to blue collar work and everything as well.
Yeah. So before we go too far, I know you said you had some other questions.
Oh, we'll get to them. We're working on them.
All right.
Yeah.
Now I'm the interviewer.
Yeah. You're thinking too much, bud.
No.
Gotta be in the flow state.
I just don't. I don't want to like.
No, I got it.
Sometimes I could easily derail a conversation, and
I got it.
Cool.
70 something in.
Cool.
No worries.
Cool.
It's fun because your tattoo on your leg from a distance, it also looks like a Valkyrie helmet. Your truck with the rose. From far away, I was like, is that like when you came in? It looked like a samurai mask, or it looked like a Valkyrie.
I was just thinking that when I'm looking at it like this, it looks like a samurai mask.
Yeah,
that's funny. Yeah, it could be.
Or Darth Vader. Because that's based off of a samurai helmet.
I could see the samurai helmet. Oh, Master Splinter.
Yep.
Or Master Shredder.
Master Shredder.
Yeah.
They're all similar.
Or I think it's just Shredder. I don't think it's Master Shredder.
I think Master Splinter called him Master Shredder, maybe. But yeah, we'll just call him Shredder. I don't know. You're shredding anyways. You're Shredder.
Yeah.
Ultimate Shredder.
That's who it is. It's the Ultimate Shredder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darth Vader Shredder samurai trucks.
Darth Shredder.
Yeah, Darth Shredder. I like that, actually. That's dope. But yeah, so one of the other questions that I was going to get into is like through this last journey, because I know you were going through some heavy trials and tribulations. You opened up the school. You went from Braille. You opened up your skate shop. Yeah, I started helping out with the nonprofit. Where have you been, or where were you? Where have you gone now? Like, let me ask this a little bit of a better question. like from where you were,
Yeah.
like where have you gone now that was unexpected, but it feels like it falls into alignment? Because every time you're on your journey and like when you showed up here, you're telling me all these stories of alignment, like the synchronistic aspects of like the rose and finding this, and then being in this location, meeting this individual. Because I think there's a lot of people out there that sometimes get lost in what society wants from them, and they don't have a path of purpose on that level. Because like being able to be tapped in alignment and having the universe and God speak to you in ways that you're like, what? That's so weird. Like this person, I was just having this conversation. I'm now in a different city. They don't know each other, but this conversation is correlating with the same thing I was focused on last week. And that, I think that's a thing of you called it divinity, right?
Divinity.
Yeah. So like I call it universal alignment, but same thing. God, universe, all the same thing, just different name.
It's really special to be able to like take a third person view at your life and then allow yourself to kind of see situations that unfolded that led you to a point in your life, maybe that you're at now or were at, and then be like, oh, I can actually now see why that happened. For instance, this is what I share with you. I'm not gonna use any names, but just out of respect for this person that I met the other day, where I went to the Krishna temple. You know, I was driving. I was hungry. I looked over to see like what the sign said, like what kind of restaurants maybe were there, and I saw the Krishna temple, and I was like, "Hey, that might be kind of cool to check out." You know, I part of my belief is to accept other beliefs. You know, I don't have to accept them as my own, but I have to accept them for the belief that they are. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, going to the Krishna temple, and obviously it's different from what I believe, Christianity, in Jesus and him being the Savior. I go there, I'm like walking around, I go inside, and they're like, oh yeah, you can walk around. We got food. You know, they got the llama farm. They got the peacocks just roaming freely. And so I'm out at the llama farm, just like, you know, I walk out there. I'm just looking at the llamas, like, and then the guy that was at the front desk when I walked in, he's walking by, and him and I start talking, and dude's a Christian, and he's out there working. And so we start talking, and it was just interesting how, you know, that alignment was not coincidental. That was divine. And it was divine in the way it's meant to reaffirm what I believe, and to let me know that, like, nothing is coincidental. And the things we spoke about that day were very much the things that I've been kind of thinking and kind of like dealing with as of lately. And so it just, I mean, it literally was it was, I believe, you know, God using somebody as a beacon of him speaking to me directly. Mm-hmm. Just assuring me that, you know, hey, you're on the right path. Keep going. Stand tall in your faith. And it was really special, you know. And to find that at the Krishna temple was pretty unique.
Because I think, too, coming from being, like, experiencing both sides of the fence, like where you've been in deep chaos, you've been your own version of hell, and like where nothing feels like it's for you anymore. Like life feels against you, you feel against yourself. And then now being able to pull yourself out of that and rekindling your faith and being able to see the beautiful side, you know, like laying on the back porch or skating multiple competitions and being able to be present and having fun. You know what I mean? Like it's something that some people either lose or never get to experience.
I think there's something with frequency. So, you know, like if we're operating in a point of like everything's happening against me, nothing is for me, mm-hmm. then you're gonna bring that maybe more towards yourself.
Yep.
But I feel like if you're like there's blessings that are for me, there's things that are blessings for other people, being a little bit more aware of that, then when that blessing comes, you can see it and you can actually take hold of it, But yeah, I think it's important, no matter what you're going through, to understand that everything is happening for a very specific reason, whether or not you are aware of it at that moment. But try to take that step back outside of yourself to just kind of look in and kind of maybe have a little bit better understanding.
100%. It's so easy with social media and all this endless forms of endless forms of overstimulation just in general. Like you can stimulate, you get these little dopamine hits, and then you're burnout, whether it's, it's nicotine, caffeine, it's like porn, whatever. There's so many ways that you can mess with yourself, your endocrine system, your systems. But yeah, just being present. That's something for me too that I try to remember to do, is reflect at the end of the day. Because our lists are long and just continuously growing longer and longer. But if you can reflect at the end of the day, and then something, Izzy Adesanya, you know who that is?
Yeah, he's a UFC fighter.
Yes, exactly. Legend. One of the things he was talking about last time no, I'm just kidding. He wasn't on.
You didn't bring him here to fight me, right?
No, but no, one of the things he was talking about, I think it was on a podcast, was he would do a gratitude journal at the end of the day. Yeah. So then his whole day, he was looking for things to be grateful for throughout the day. And that's something I feel like more people, because I feel especially as the cities get bigger, the older you get, the days get shorter somehow. And it's so easy just to go from one task to the next and never actually be present in the moment or the second and
so
enjoy things.
I just heard I was listening to Joe Rogan podcast where, sorry to mention other podcasts on.
No, Joe Rogan's the reason why I'm here.
Great.
Shout out to Joe.
Yeah. Hey.
I'm just trying to be a big chimpanzee like him.
You're almost there. And you might be bigger than Joe, dude.
Well, I'm
you're taller.
5 inches taller, but I think he probably outweighs me by a little bit. But we're similar in stature.
Crap out of you.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't want to fight him. No. I would have to make sure he wasn't looking and sleeping.
Right. So there was somebody talking about the gratitude journal, but not just being having gratitude towards the people from that day, but having gratitude and thanking the people from their life. So going back into the past and thanking
it's ancestral
Adam
gratitude.
Terrell, right? I'm thankful for Adam Terrell, right? And I'm grateful for him getting me into skateboarding, to an extent, right? I wouldn't say he got me into where I'm at in skateboarding now, but there was definitely a point in time where Adam and myself were hanging out in front of his house on the base, and we were just doing flat ground. Some of it was Casper Primo style stuff. Some of it was heel flips, kick flips on flat, and there's a part of my life that is thankful for, there has to be a part of myself that's thankful and has gratitude towards that part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's power to going back and drawing, gratitude from those situations, because I think it'll bring maybe more awareness of people or places or things that you need to have gratitude for now.
Oh, 100%. And it's one, we were talking about yesterday too, is you have your cell phone. It's hard. You want to film things or be filmed. You want to be able to be connected.
I want to throw it away.
Right. You know what I mean? But you want to be connected with people. There's situations or times, even today, I didn't want to be on social media as much, but then I realized one of my old best friends and roommates, her and her husband and her baby are in Provo right now. I was like, wait a minute, they're in Utah. And then I was like, where are you guys at? And they're like, oh, we're in Provo. They forget I live here. And it's dude, you're 20 minutes from me. So that kind of stuff helps sometimes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if it overtakes your life, and then you see nowadays, everybody's filming everything, and it's just hard to be present.
Yeah, it is.
But I feel like you, Travis has talked about this too, and myself, like being able to be more present and not letting that take over. Because for you could be making money if you don't already from social media, monetizing your Instagram, Facebook. I make money from mine.
Yeah.
And then having it paused.
I have the ability to, and I actually like, they keep inviting me and I'm like,
I did that too until I realized I was like, oh, you can make a couple $100 a month from this.
Yeah. I was
just off of views.
monetized at one point. Like I was making like $1,200 a month, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that would pay for, you know, a couple months rent at my store, you know, why not? So, thanks for that reminder.
Right? Yeah. Hop on there and then
I got to put it on my to-do list today.
Hire somebody else to do it. And then you could just pay that, pay a
Travis,
portion
you
of
looking for another job?
Yeah. Yeah. He was like, wait, I just get to watch skate videos? Because Travis, you used to skate too, right?
I mean, when I was a lot younger, I was more of a snowboarder growing up. I was on a snowboard at like 6 years old.
Same, but different.
I learned how to snowboarding wasn't really a thing when I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
It was skiing.
Yeah.
So I learned how to ski with no sticks. I'd just like beeline it down the hill. I would never do that now. Never. Never. I would never just like.
Well, you're so close to the ground when you're little.
Yeah. And you got obviously no association of fear. You're
Yeah.
just like,
and rubber ligaments and tendons now.
Dude.
That would suck.
Yeah.
But yeah, he grew up similar culture for you. Like you did like he was into like rock and bands and you're a vocalist too, or
so I do. Yeah. I sing, play guitar, drums.
He's good too. I've heard him sing
instruments, and so we were like the typical rock band, having a good time, trying to do shows wherever we could and grungy places. So grew up in a little bit of a seedy.
This episode of Just in Our Minds is proudly sponsored by ASA Formula. We talk a lot on this podcast about getting back to fundamentals, whether it's fitness, nutrition, or how to take care of our bodies. That's exactly what ASA Formula believes when it comes to skincare. Their products are handcrafted in Utah using a nutrient-rich tallow base and simple natural ingredients designed to nourish and hydrate your skin. No unnecessary fillers, just thoughtful, crafted formulas inspired by time-tested traditions and made with quality in mind. If you're looking for skincare that embraces a more natural approach, check out ASA Formula and see why so many people are making the switch. Thanks again to ASA Formula for supporting Just in Our Minds since the beginning. That's asaformula.com. Use promo code JUSTIN10. Dude, I loved Cabrillo High for that. Like the band Battle of the Bands and all that stuff.
Oh, dude, yeah, that was really cool.
Because Jeff Montavo was there. You ever heard of Seven Lions?
No, I haven't.
He's like a big, huge
dude, I
music
trip out
producer.
on how big
Millions and millions, like been to all over the world. Like he's one of the top music producers. Seven Lions. Oh, wow. You'll recognize some of his music.
Okay.
So we went to high school with him. He was in like a indie band, or what would you call, like, I don't even remember what kind of band that was, because it was him, Tom Jones, right? And it was like
Jones.
But back in the day with the crew pants and it was like a scene band. I don't remember.
Yeah,
it was like a rock band, but I don't know the genre.
Time feels so distant, but so like tangible. Like I could, so close. But like looking back, I'm like,
dude,
that was 20 years plus.
20 years, 22 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I graduated high school in 2006.
Yeah, because I was 07.
Okay, yeah, so. But yeah, that was probably sophomore year in high school. I would say maybe, sophomore.
Yeah.
Yeah, end of freshman, sophomore
year. Junior, or maybe your junior, because I was at Cabrillo my sophomore year.
Yeah.
But that year,
and years. And then you moved, right? After that?
I got kicked out. Yeah. So, yeah. And Mr. Falk was my homie. But oh man, yeah, I got kicked out for just fighting too much and being a crazy boy.
I don't think I ever saw you fight.
Yeah.
I think I heard about it, but like, to be honest, I don't even, like, without you saying that, I wouldn't have remembered that. Yeah. Because like this side of you now overshadows.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Easily.
I ain't fight nobody now unless it's for fun or like at a gym or something.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to fight nobody now. Sometimes I think about it, but I don't. I just shut up and put my headphones back in or something.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, yeah, it was just like I just feel like, well, apparently everybody says, well, my generation was just the best at this and blah blah blah. But we were one of the last generations for without the cell phone for on that level. We had like a doo hey. So I just feel like height of like the 90s to 2000s, the height of MTV,
going from like MP3 players to like, oh, now it's just on your cell phone. Like I remember going through like tons of the little like 128 megabyte like MP3 players I'd buy from the BX because I'd listen to them and they would break because I'd just be skating with them, you know, and like
I remember getting my first iPod too, and they, you know, like it had the little. You're like, oh, what? Now it has a little screen.
Dude, I have an iPod first generation in my storage unit, and I also have an iPhone 1.
Really?
Yeah. That would be cool though to go like take it into Verizon and be like, yeah, I'd like to activate this. And they'd be like, sorry.
Yeah.
It doesn't compute. I'm sure it doesn't work.
Have you seen they have a smart flip phones that don't have like apps? Like you could do like email, photos, and things like that, but it doesn't. It's not.
It's called a jitterbug, right?
This one it wasn't a jitterbug. It's a Sony some numbers, but the one I was looking at.
Sony some.
But it's like durable. But I was looking into one of those, keeping like a phone for content, but then I just having something like that as like a landline that you could take with you.
Yeah, I've been so on the fence about like just getting rid of my cell phone and like using my shop phone as like. You've reached Robby. Leave me a message at the tone. Bye.
I don't want to hear about my extended warranty. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't get like spam texts. You'd get like the occasional like Google Voice, call. You're like, I don't even use Google Voice. Like, who's searching Solving Skate Shop? Hey Siri, what's Solving Skate Shop's number? And it doesn't show up because I'm not on Google Voice or whatever. I'm like. I don't know.
Have you seen the guy that he has he built this AI platform. So when robocalls come in, it'll put them on a loop. And then so like when the robocall asks questions, it'll ask questions back and play certain music. And then every time that the robocall or the AI or the whoever that spam call is calls you in, it'll keep calling them back and playing that song endlessly. So it just puts them in a permanent loop.
That's so funny. It seems like a lot of work. I just hang up.
It calls him back. It's not a person. It's his AI software that continuously calls him back. So like he doesn't have to do anything. It just endlessly calls them back until they change their number.
That's great. And then they have a new number, and then they call me again. I'm like, so it's this guy's fault.
You're getting the repercussions of the AI loop.
It is, kind of. It's frustrating in some. It's like, dude, what is with some people just wanting to? I don't know. I guess there's obviously somebody's generating money off of that,
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't, or somebody's signing up.
Or are they just getting paid to spam people? I don't know. That's
actually, that
weird.
might be a fun job.
Spamming people.
I'm gonna have to look into it.
Yeah, you're just gonna spam people all day.
Yeah,
just get all this negative karma.
Dude, well, no, it's my AI. My AI will get it.
There you go. Yeah.
No, I definitely not.
Dude, so getting back into it. So from skating last year and then coming back out here for the Kilby Block Party, are there any tricks or any runs that you're thinking about from last year that you want to hit this time around?
Well, the course is concrete, so I'm sure it's going to be the same.
You just come back. It's just completely different.
Whoa, it's like, moldable.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like clay. I don't know. There's a couple tricks I did last year that I want to do again. Definitely I would like to flip my board into more there's a couple rails that are they're not as big as some of the other rails. So maybe doing a couple more flip in tricks to those rails. I have learned a couple more quarter pipe tricks that are, for me, they're not the hardest trick, but nobody does them. so like doing some more of that stuff that's like the things I'm good at versus like trying to do the things that like other people are doing. So just like being, I don't know, I guess I would say I just want to skate more of my style, which like I can skate everything, you know, I can skate a 14-foot vert ramp, you know, might not be the best at it. But I can also skate street, and, you know, I can do like kickflip front board, or I can do other street tricks, you know. And so the street course is kind of a mixture, and then even the park course is still a mixture of street and park together. You know, one has like bigger street obstacles, the other one has bigger park obstacles. So I think just skating true to myself.
And then with you getting back into these competitions the last few years and checking the box, hitting different towns, different cities, different states, would you say you've developed like not a new style necessarily, but maybe a new rhythm for your skateboarding?
Yeah, I think just like since I quit drinking alcohol, you know, the inflammation in my body has like gone significantly down, and so it has kind of allowed me to have more of a like kind of free flowing style. Yeah, and then also just giving me more confidence, and knowing that like, oh, I can still like reach down and like grab my board and do like a melon grab and like kind of tweak it out a little bit, like, you know, getting some flexibility back. I don't know. People always say like I have a surf style, which I find funny because like I've never surfed. Like I'm not a surfer. And yeah, I don't know, but yeah, just having more of like a, I don't know, like skating with confidence, you know, like knowing that the tricks I'm doing are tricks that I've been doing for a long time. But
getting
like,
the reps in.
Yeah.
It's probably fun too to be able to test them out on different, like, you know, different elevations, different temperatures, different, you know, like,
yeah, being able to like go to like
drier climates.
Yeah,
and,
being in like Vegas, and it's like obviously
Florida,
we're not skating outside, we're skating in the convention center, and it's like AC. So like that's, you're not really dealing with the element, but
well, because humidity, everything,
yeah,
like
but
going
like
to different
skating
states.
out in Florida, like, I mean, even though you're in a warehouse, man, it's humid out there, you know, so that's different.
Your
And
board
then,
reacts different. I feel like you do too.
yeah. Oh yeah, your body, you know, and I think me doing long distance running has totally helped me with like the jam format style, even like doing a 1 minute run, formulating my runs. I've kind of reverted back to the way I used to formulate them when I was a kid versus like trying to like, oh, I got to do this trick because that guy's doing that trick, right? It's like, no, just plan your run in threes, you know, and then you break it into, you know, three, you know, beginning, middle, end, and practice it in that way. Don't practice it as a full run. But then like the long distance running that I've been doing has just helped me with like cardio, being able to breathe,
endurance,
breath work through that 3 minutes, you know, or 4 minutes or 5 minutes. That's really helped out a lot, and just like keeping yourself calm, you know, through the breath work, you know, and that also helps too. Like if you're like, okay, I got one trick left, and this is like the haymaker, you know, and like, okay, I'm there, you know, getting there with
stepping in and got it.
Yeah.
I think that's cool too. Like, yeah, like you're talking about breaking down the inflammation and like tapping into your body fully again, and then like redeveloping just like that mind body board connection.
Yeah. The board should be an extension of the feet, you know?
What would you say, have there been any tricks that you've developed since doing some of these competitions that maybe you weren't expecting to? For one, you were saying like doing a vert competition, a 14-foot vert ramp wasn't exactly on your bucket list until you did it. And has there been any other tricks or any other? I know I've seen a bunch, and like you've talked about some of your mindset changes and just being more cultured with different areas. But has it like seeing certain skaters or going to certain tournaments or visiting certain skate parks? Has it changed your style for skating or any of your like tricks, or maybe added to your arsenal for your skill sets?
I think it's brought more awareness to how I allowed myself at a point to like get comfortable with the tricks I had. But I know when I was younger, I was like, I want to learn every trick, and I've done, a lot of tricks as far as like, flat ground, like learning the trick, like, but then there's like some tricks where, I was like, I could do it, but like, I'm not going to sit there for 3 hours trying to learn, a trick. Like, for instance, switch tray flip. Like, I've known for the longest time that I could do a switch tray flip because I can flip the board. It's just like going through the process of it. And sorry.
No, you're good.
9 hours of sleep, man. So, but like I've done a couple switch tray flips, but like for whatever reason, I like don't want to spend the time to like master that trick. But then there was like switch hard flip. I remember, I spent the time when I was younger doing like mastering that trick to where now it's like, it's pretty comfortable for me to still do that one. But I think like now having a different awareness, I'm like, oh, well, there's still like this switch tray flip where I really would like to have that trick pretty well, and like, so like going back and just like going through like certain tricks and being like, yeah, I know you did a nollie inward heel flip, but you should maybe go back and try to have them like your kick flips. It's like I could probably kickflip. Well, I'm sure I could like kickflip with my eyes closed or hand over my eyes, and I might wipe out a couple times, but more than likely I'll probably get it. I'll probably get it first try. But like having like more tricks like that where it's just kind of like on command. I think Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does for sure. And that's what I meant is just maybe like not even just new tricks maybe it could be a new approach. You're watching somebody hit a handrail a certain way or something. You're like, oh yeah. Oh, I'm going to try that. Like I didn't think about doing that.
There's definitely something to not bailing because like I know when I was younger, I would kick out a lot. And like when you do that, you're using energy to bail. So like if you're going to use your energy, you might as well use your energy to commit to it and then just like save the bailing part for like if something's really going off. You're like, oh, I got to get that board out of here, but I think so like just
deeper it's not commission. What am I saying? Commitment. Jesus. Yeah.
He had nothing to do with that. He had nothing to do with that.
To your tricks?
No, the commission.
Oh, yeah.
No, you losing your words. But maybe you did. But, just having, like, better understanding of, like, the commitment aspect. Because, you see it today with, like, a lot of the younger guys. And then I know when I was younger, because I was like engaging in certain things. And maybe these kids are engaging in it too. I'm not sure. But to be out there and like be like kind of this older guy and then to be sober and to like, I don't know, like to just be a role model. Like, hey, look, you don't have to smoke weed. You don't have to get drunk, me having an addictive personality, it was like, well, you don't have to get drunk. You could have one beer. Like there was no like, oh, you could have one beer. It's like, no, you got to have all the beers.
Yeah. Like one case of beers.
You got to smoke. Yeah. Case of beers, 1 ounce. You can have all the weed. Like, it's like, it's just funny how like when I was younger, I had like no off switch and kind of little awareness for myself. I was pretty aware of like other people, but, so that's changed. It's just having more self-awareness and then using that as a way to like, okay, well, if I'm going to use my energy, like, why not use it fully rather than like, I'm going to just jump down it and see what happens. I'm probably going to kick, or I'm going to jump down it and kick out. And then like each time you hit the ground, you know, on your feet, you're taking way more impact than if you land on your board. Oh my gosh,
yeah.
So.
And then you get in that pattern, like then, like you're saying, you kick out more because it's just like second nature.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how many times, I'm sure like sounds like that same thing for you. It's like that first approach. Most people don't commit on the first try. Like and they're like, all right, I got it this time. This episode of Just in Our Minds is brought to you by the Mountain Barbershop Company. In a world where everything feels rushed, there's something special about walking into a real barbershop. At the Mountain Barber Company, it's more than just a haircut. It's an experience. From precision haircuts and beard trims to hot towel shaves, scalp treatments, and old school barbering done right. Every visit is about craftsmanship and taking pride in your appearance. Whether you're getting cleaned up for work, a date night, or a special event, or you're just appreciating a quality cut, the team at Mountain Barbershop has you covered. If you're in South Jordan or anywhere along the Wasatch Front, stop by the Mountain Barbershop Company and experience what traditional barbershop should really feel like. Tell them that Justin from Just in Our Minds sent you.
See, now I like it.
Now you just send it.
Dude, I get pumped. I'm like, whoa. And it's funny because like sometimes I'll like go and I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to try it. And I do it first try. And I'm like, should I be trying harder stuff? You know, but then like my mind goes into like the risk reward. I'm like, no. Like, why?
Yeah, because that's where I think that's what separates like the Ryan Shecklers and the different people, the Nyjah and different people is like, I don't think they give themselves time to think about that. They'll just send it in some aspects. Like that's what same with like the gym or some stunts or whatever the thing that's calling for the day. Sometimes it's like, you know, like before you give yourself a chance to overthink it, just do the thing.
Yeah. And so like I have noticed that like there are times when I'll be skating and I'll just like not overthink and I'll be able to like kind of push myself to a different level.
Flow state, yeah.
Yeah, and like when you're in that flow state, it's nice.
It's one thing to analyze the situation if there's like, you know, a crack's too big and you have to put some sort of like rubber cement or something over the.
You're like talking about the whole course at the curb show.
Yeah.
Like the 14 stair had like right like this far before the staircase, like where you would pop. There's like a separation in the platforms. Mm-hmm. And it was like up a little bit and they just put like some, you know, like set tape over it. You know, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. You know, like I'm sure, I mean, well, I'm positive it didn't affect you as much as people thought it did. And it's probably more like a street spot, but why?
Yeah.
And why? Like you got this like cool rail at this cool contest and then you leave a crack like that. It's like, dude, just, you know, how hard is it to like take those two pieces of wood off and put one solid piece of wood down? Like maybe it would take a little extra work or even just leave those two pieces of wood and then just put another like thin layer of wood, you know, over the top of that. And like, just, I don't know, having a seamless like spot would be more preferable for me.
Yeah.
You know,
or some sort of wedge that mends the gap.
Skateboarding's hard enough, you know, why, I mean, it doesn't make sense to have a contest where you're adding variables that would just make it harder. Mm-hmm. You know, no one got hurt on that spot or like severely hurt. But it definitely made me go, yeah, I'm not going to skate this thing.
Yeah.
Even though I know I could have skated it, you know, but I just, like, why? You know, because my front wheel gets like caught in that. Now I'm sacking a rail.
Yeah, or just getting sent all the way down that stair set.
And then it's like, oh, well, now I'm not skating this weekend. And maybe in jeopardize, you know, the 15 kids that I have in my nonprofit program where it's like, I'm there for them. And if I can't be there for them, then it's not just I miss out. 15 kids miss out.
Yeah, I think that's that level of adulthood you hit where you're like this, you know, like we were talking about the seasoned veteran where you have very calculated risks, like you're saying. I think that's a smart way to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be 40 something years old and just crushing yourself every day in this?
No, I want to be able to
crippled ass
skate.
skateboarder.
Like my goal in my life has always been to be able to skate for as long as I can walk.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think I'm doing pretty good.
No, you're killing it.
So, yeah, I'm having fun with it.
Dude,
It's not about being the best.
It's so cool to see all the competitions you've been doing, and like at any age, but even you getting closer to 40 and still crushing it, getting ready for the Masters and being able to do multiple tournaments a year, building up the skate shop. Like you were telling me, the revenue there has been better and better for where you started from.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, from where when I first started, like to where I'm at now. And I appreciate you mentioning that, because that just made me like immediately go like, oh, from point A to point where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, whoa, there's been an immense growth. Like, I mean, my shop deck, the Rob the Builder won shop deck of the year based on votes from the people. So I have this following of people that believe in my store. And I think when I bought the shop, I was like, is this what I want to do? Like, it took me like a year and a half before I finally like committed to it, But I appreciate you mentioning that, because that gives me just an opportunity to take a step back and reflect and be like, man, I was still drinking when I had a skate shop. I was still, still smoking weed when I first bought the skate shop, and I got to a spot about 2.5 years ago where I just told myself, if I have a skate shop, I don't drink. If I drink, I don't have a skate shop, because, I'm becoming, and I'm probably already am, I've already become just like a role model figure on the Central Coast of California, a legend, as some may say. But I have that responsibility, not just to myself, but to others, to just, be the best version of myself, and to, encourage others to seek that same thing.
And build that legend, or build that archetype that you admired as a kid, but making sure to fill in the gaps to be a better version.
Yeah,
like, we grew up with
it's
some
not
weird...
even that I want to be a legend.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
I'm kind of stepping into that role.
You build that skater, that the archetype of that skater that you always wanted to look up to. Because I feel like when we grew up, there wasn't a lot of really nice skaters. Sometimes they'd throw us a bone, but a lot of them...
I remember looking up to like these pro skaters, and I might have shared this on the last podcast, where like, I was like looking up to these guys, and then I told my friend, Chris Key, rest in peace. I told him like, yo, like, I want to be a pro skater. He's like, you can't be a pro skater. I'm like, well, why not? He's like, you don't even smoke weed. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, who's your favorite pro skater? I'm like, Andrew Reynolds. He's like, yeah, that dude definitely smokes weed. I'm like, what? And then I'm like, okay, what about Jeff Rowley? He's like, yeah, dude, Jeff Rowley totally smokes weed. I'm like, what? Like, so I don't know. I mean, it definitely didn't make me go like, oh, I gotta go smoke some weed.
I'm gonna go give me a gram.
Yeah, no, that was still when I lived on the base, and that was like, don't do that on the base, because later on those guys got kicked off the base. I definitely know I shared that on the last one, but it was just it was interesting to hear that, because it, like, I don't know, I've always had like this very innocent, like, kind of picture vision of the world. I think maybe some of that comes from kind of my upbringing with like going through cancer, and, kind of a little more sheltered lifestyle growing up on different military bases. And then like you go out into the real world and you're like, wait, what? It's like that? Like, what do you mean these guys smoke weed?
Especially in the skate culture too.
Well, and then like you see, and this is something in the recent years I've seen, which kind of baffles me, is like, you have people like myself who are like literally trying to do everything within my ability and my power, or I would say more of my ability. Like, I'm not trying to force it so much anymore, but like, just if it's in my ability to like go to a contest or be a part of an event, like, I want to genuinely be there. And then being at some of these events where you're like, you have like a pro that's being paid to be there, and then you see him act in a way where he's like, doesn't want to be there. And I'm like, well, why is he here? It's like and it's interesting because you see that in like the guy who works at Applebee's as a chef or a dishwasher, and he's just miserable, doesn't want to be there. The guy that works at like a cubicle, for a pharmaceutical company, and he doesn't want to be there, but he just shows up because he's getting paid to do it and it's his job. So like, I think we can like maybe find a way to have better representatives of skateboarding, like people that want to be there. Like how can we like pay those people to be there?
I mean, it's even cool too, like some of the older guys getting out. What's his name? The black dude that was in prison and he got out.
Antoine Dixon.
Is that him? They just recently got out.
Yeah. Or you talking about Terry Kennedy?
Terry Kennedy. Well, I'm just saying, but like him, like Bam Margera, some other people that have like went through some hell and now coming out on.
So I don't know Terry Kennedy's story, and so I just before I know I took like but like also like I don't really know Antoine's story. He was also in jail, but I can say like based on what you're talking about is like having these guys. Because that was me, it's like I wasn't maybe on that same level as them, but I did go through like my own trials and tribulations. So to see some of these guys go through their trials and come out like on the other side, like Bam, I see him it's funny because I see him at most of the events like that I'm going to, like Tampa Pro, he was there, he was at the Curb show, and he's definitely someone who's gone through hell.
100%.
And to kind of come out on the other side. I believe he is sober now.
Yeah, from my understanding, he's sober.
So
it's just cool to see that like some of the older heads that were in a lot of trouble or like provoking like their own demons, letting them take advantage of their life.
Yeah.
And also having the money to be able to support all your vices is not the best combination.
I'm just glad I didn't have a lot of money to support all my vices, because that probably saved me from some turmoil.
Oh yeah,
for sure,
100%.
Because the money I did have at the time, that was definitely going to those vices.
More money, and you don't get rid of those vices and problems.
You can be the richest man in the world, but if all you have is money, you're also the poorest.
100%.
Yeah. So I don't know, and that's I think because money did cause me some issues, I've always like kind of like resented it. But I realize now because I resent it, it also is like holding me back from like maybe like gaining financially from my business fully.
No,
maybe that's why I don't have a website, because I'm like, I'm going to make too much money.
Well, it's having a bad relationship with money. So there's like you can have a good relationship and it's still good to have it.
It's a tool.
Yeah, it's a tool, exactly. It's just a piece of paper at the end of the day. It's a ticket to buy your freedom back. That's where Rachel and me talk about that sometimes. Like, it's all about your relationship and what you do with it. It doesn't matter what everybody else did with it. You can be one of the few that turn it into a good thing.
Yeah,
you just can't like deny your blessings.
I needed that. That's good. Yeah, because I think for a long time I've definitely I'm like, like the root of all money or the root of all evil is money.
Mm-hmm. It's not the money, it's the human.
It's the love of money.
Yeah.
And
it's just like those archetypes. It's the desire archetype of like that whole idea of just like desiring more and more and more. Yeah. It's like the same with the guys and girls where they get into a relationship and then they want to get into the next one because they're not creating
I don't
the value
understand
of an
that at all, man. Like whenever I get into a relationship and then like if I get out of that relationship, I'm like, dude, my heart hurts.
Or it's like you're eating a bite of food and you're thinking about the next bite and you're not enjoying the one you have. It's like the same concept.
I've seen people where I've sat down to eat with them and I'm like, bro, you're like thinking about like 5 bites ahead right now. Like I actually really enjoy like I'll sit down and it'll take me, it took me 45 minutes to eat that bagel this morning. There's just 2 pieces of bread, like, I mean, obviously I was doing some other stuff, but I was like fully enjoying the bagel,
Yeah, there's conscious times too, because we all have it. Because
Yeah.
like last night, I watched you get the hiccups from eating food and drinking that mineral water too fast.
I think it was the mineral water. You ate faster than I did.
We're not comparing. I'm just saying.
No, this is a competition. No,
it's back and
I know
forth.
what you're talking about.
No, I used to eat really fast too because we only had so much time for Lombok High lunches. It's like an hour. You have to walk or drive somewhere.
Oh,
You got
yeah.
30 minutes to crush some food and get back.
I think it was the carbonated water that, because I don't always drink probably enough water or water that I should be drinking. But then having the carbonated water and then putting like the electrolytes in there and just like,
It's a combination of the two.
dude, I'm
for
so
sure.
glad that you were like, hey, don't do that in the glass, bro. Like,
Have you ever done that? Mixed mineral water with electrolytes? It turns into a volcano experiment.
Oh, bro.
because of all
Science
the
project.
because all the minerals.
I wouldn't have known. And luckily Justin was like, yo, don't pour that in the
It's
bottle.
gonna be a bad idea.
Oh, it would have been bad. I poured it in the cup and it
I
still
told him
overflowed.
and he still like turned away from it. I was like, what are you doing? I was like, no, it's overflowing. You're like, oh man, I don't know what I was doing there. I'm like, what? He was like pouring it and then just like,
Yeah,
you needed that extra day of sleep, dude.
yeah.
Got to get that brain firing on all cylinders. I know if I go a couple days, especially like long drives, trips, skating at skate parks, and then get back into the car, driving to the next thing, it's like,
Well, and like that's literally like, I think it was like the first week in April. I drove to Tampa Bay. I mean, that was like a 4-day drive there. But then while I was there, like I didn't really reset with the time change. I just was like, oh, whatever. Like, I'm just going to keep operating. Like my sleep was like down to like 6 hours a night. And then I'm like skating every day constantly. And then the contest ends. And then I drive back. I took 6 days to drive back, but I stopped in like Texas and I did a talk at the church. And then I got home. And then like a week and a half later, I'm like back on the road, going to Vegas. And that was like, Vegas is like an overstimulation for me, like obviously, I'm not like going out to clubs or bars or any of that. Sorry, excuse me. I'm not, but it's just like all the lights, the noise, the music. It's just,
it's a lot. Well, even the skate competitions and stuff, that's such a high and low. Like you're just ramped up.
Well, yeah.
You're running on 5-6 hours of sleep. It's just like the energy. It takes a lot out of you. And then you thinking about tricks you're going to do and like just the mental.
Yeah, and then after the contest, I'm like, oh, crap. I got to like send these T-shirts out to this person or oh, crap. I forgot to bring T-shirts to give to Justin on the podcast.
Sorry, Travis.
But
He'll have some
now I
soon.
have your address.
I'll survive. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's right.
Unless you want
I'll
one
take
that
any
I wore
shirts.
in a contest.
Hey, that might be even
I haven't
better.
watched
Well,
it
because
yet.
I told him,
I'll
I was
hang
like, you can
that
sign it. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, you could put on these bare walls
Exactly.
that you have.
We gotta start
Oh, that
a-
would be cool. Like
Hang them in the
you
rafters
could have,
here.
yeah. Well, I guess no, because it's used by other people.
yeah. What we do is just mix up the sets. And this episode of Just in Our Mind is brought to you by Optimum Regen Peptides. If you're involved in laboratory research and want a company that takes quality, transparency, and consistency seriously, check out Optimum Regen Peptides. They provide research-grade peptides and compounds that are third-party lab tested, compounded in the USA, and backed by batch-level COAs so researchers can verify purity and identity. Their catalog includes categories like metabolic research, recovery and repair research, cognitive research, and overall health research, and Talos. Optimum Regen Peptides is built around real testing, real people, and real standards. All products are strictly for laboratory research only. They are not for human or animal consumption and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Visit OptimumRegenPeptides.com and tell them that you heard about them on Just in Our Minds podcast. And the promo code is Sloan10.
Wait, I have an idea. You've seen that guy on social media that like he dresses up kind of fun. He's a questionable character, but he like pulls down the strings and he has like the balloons drop and he has
Tom Green.
Yeah, kind of. No,
Daddy,
no,
you
no.
want some sausages?
It's like exact thoughts.
No, but if you attach things to and like, oh, Justin's podcast, and you like pull this one down,
Yeah.
and then all your props.
That's where if you look, see the white.
Yeah.
So you can put stuff on those tracks.
Oh,
like
yeah,
the metal
and
ones.
slide it in.
Yeah,
Those
that's what I was thinking. Is we
paper
could just hang
backdrops.
something or the
pull.
paperback. Yeah.
Like you can just pull them. That'll pull paper backdrops down, something like that.
Yeah.
Just pull
Yeah.
a chain.
But it
Just
would be
bring
like
things
all
down.
Justin's like props, and you just have them already hooked up.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying. Either that or on the ground, and then we just move because there's a full upstairs
like
up here
the Rock.
too. Yeah, the Rock, the big stone.
You're gonna have Dwayne Johnson in here.
Yep. That would suck to have to carry him around. It's like 300 pounds.
Dude. Yeah.
But yeah, dude.
I understand. Like, it's funny how I forget, but like just talking about it right now, I'm like, oh yeah, I have been like going pretty hard for a month and a half.
It's hard to see, and then you just
when you're
and then,
when you're
and
in
you're
it.
mentally, like you're saying, you're self-deprecating a little bit on top of like everything you're doing. It's fun in the moment, and then as soon as you get back in the car or you're the hotel or the house, you remember all the other shit
Dude,
you have to do.
here's the craziest thing. I absolutely like driving is such like it's like my happy place, bro. Like to be able to like drive and like sometimes I'll be driving for hours, no music, just windows up or windows down, like whatever, just like that white noise. It's like, I don't know. I get some of like my best thoughts, my meditation. I feel very grounded.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just gives my mind something to think about, like, because I'm obviously thinking about driving. I got to watch the road, but then it's giving my body like kind of rest. But I obviously I do think like when you drive a lot, there are problems with that as well, because like your lymph system is kind of just stagnant. It's not flushing or moving. Your body gets tight and tense. Your muscles get sore just from driving. But there's something therapeutic about it for me. Like I really enjoy it.
No, I think it's great. It's part of that journey, man. Like you're developing the path for yourself and being able to travel and be one of the few pro skaters that probably hit every skate park in America eventually,
That's a big statement, no. But there's a lot. Dude, I'd be stoked just to hit every skate park in Utah.
No, I'm just saying in general, or a skate park in every state.
Yeah, I think last year I drove through
like every state that has a skate park. I think probably in 40,
states?
40 years, like by 40 something, you might have been able to say I've skated a skate park in almost every state in the United States.
That would be pretty. Yeah, I never thought about like trying to set a goal like that. That would be cool.
Because you've done competitions in a bunch of different states already, Like, I mean, apparently there's pros out there that probably hit all 50, whatever. But they're also getting paid to be at each one of them.
Yeah, it's different when you're just like, I'm just doing this for fun.
Yeah.
There's actually something that I've been thinking about doing for fun. I've been like kind of not trying to talk about it publicly because then it's like a big feat, but it would be really cool.
He's starting his OnlyFeet page.
My what?
I was just kidding because you said big feet.
Oh,
Like it's like OnlyFans, but for your feet.
Only feet?
Yeah, OnlyFeet.
Dude, that might take off.
Yeah.
Only feet. You don't know
There you
whose feet are these? Nobody knows.
Yeah, there you go.
Unless you have tattoos on your ankle.
Yeah, what you do.
Yeah, shoot.
Yeah. I just looked down. I was like, yeah.
All right. Something I wanted to do when I was like younger was I always wanted to skate across America. I always wanted to do that. But I feel like because of kind of my own personality, I really don't like to like do things behind people. So, and I know this, what I'm about to say, other people.
You mean like behind their back?
Well, no, like if there's a bunch of people that have skated across the U.S., right? And like,
oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
You like to be the front runner.
You have Chad Caruso, who like, he holds the record, right? I don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to break his record to get my, and it's not even to get claim. Like it's more like having a mission behind the movement. So I've been thinking about this, and it would be really cool to partner with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and then to have a mission of like raising money for childhood cancer. But the movement would be me running across America. I am not going to try to break the world record. The world record's 43 days.
That's wild.
That's insane. But I feel like I'm kind of, I kind of got the Forrest Gump look going right here. So, I might he's just running and running.
And running and running.
I don't know.
I'll link you up with two of my friends. They've both walked across America. My buddy Alan and this new friend James. I introduced them together, but they're getting ready to walk across Japan. If you're interested in doing something like that, and they work with some nonprofits and stuff like that. I think they're going to be doing it in like 2 or 3 months.
Okay. Yeah, I
think it's like 4 days. They're going to do a certain stretch of it, but
yeah, and so like I think, I mean that would be cool, obviously, to get in touch with them, and like, because I think it definitely takes some planning where you got to be like, okay, like how many miles do I have to run a day? Like, okay, where am I going to stop? Like, setting those spots up. Like, what time of the year am I going to run in November? No, probably not, because probably end up like the Donner Party, like going, if I go through Tahoe or something, like, what's the best route? Am I running to New York, or am I running to Florida, or am I starting in New York and I'm going to use the elevation as my friend, run down, I don't know. I think it would be cool. I did mention it to Insole, skateboard insole company, and they're like, bro, we got you.
Dude, I want to try those because I like using minimal shoes for skateboarding, but landing on my feet flat, those are the ones with the goo in them.
Yeah, the footprint. Yeah.
Dude, I want to try those out. I was actually thinking about that because otherwise I get like heel shock now because I don't wear big foam shoes anymore.
Okay. Well, I didn't bring you a t-shirt, but I definitely got some footprint insoles for you.
Woo! Let's go. I want to skateboard.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
But it just hurt my ankles. Like even just dropping off of something like.
Wait, are you going to put the footprints in your...
Not these ones, but a different pair,
in your toe shoes?
No, not my toe shoes, but these are wide toe box too.
I just want to watch you cut the insole out.
Just put it up from the pad down.
Minimalist shoe? Yeah.
Because I thought that would be better, like having something like that, like for when I do Spartan races and things like that. So I could still wear minimal shoes and feel the ground, but just have that cushion in there. Because I don't need this much cushion.
No, you got like the.
Have you seen those, Travis? They're like they have like so they're insoles, but they have like this. It's like a goo, right? Like a green goo. On some of them.
Yeah, some of them.
But it's like or just like they basically have a shock absorber, so you can land without destroying your feet.
Oh yeah, that's
in your knees and your hips.
Necessary.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think that would be a cool. It'd be cool.
No, 100%. No, I think that it'd be great. I mean, definitely.
You want to go
to run that far? I run 5 miles a week. I got to practice on running longer distances, unless we're just running 5 miles a day.
I mean, we could do that 5 miles a day. It might take us like a year.
Well, it's for you. What's your run right now?
I would say like my longest run would be. Probably not enough, but
like
now that I think about it, I'm like, well, because you probably want to run like 40 miles a day,
40 miles a week at least. If you're not even doing it a week right now, like just
I mean,
ramp it up and shoot that for 2027.
I used to run and like I would be limited to running on the roads because I didn't have like anything to track my distance, and the reason I ran on the roads was because. When I got home, I would get in my car and I would drive the route that I just ran. And I'd just like reset my tripometer in my car. Fuck. And I was like, okay, this isn't the best idea. My longest like singular run was 13.4 miles. Now it was also in like extreme conditions. It was 97 degrees. And I had like I found a water fountain at the park when I reached the halfway point, and I just like drank a bunch of water, probably less than, a liter of water from this water fountain. And I turned around and started running back. And it was also like very like the terrain was like uphill. There was windy curves and like, I mean, so that was not an easy run. That was 13.4 miles at 2.5 hours. I'm sure, the terrain would not be like the easiest terrain on certain days, but I think, if I maybe I could probably do 75 miles a week,
Yeah, work up to it. That's what I was saying.
And then I got to do the math. 75 times 37.
To do some ultras or some other things that are like 50 mile runs, and just see how your feet do and your knees go and all that happens. Because like I would build up to that. That's a lot of fucking running.
Oh yeah, to just like I mean, it would be, and it's so funny. I'm like one of those people. I'm like, yeah, let's just go do that.
Yeah, no, I get it. I
mean, I'm in Utah. I'm almost there. I could just keep going.
Yeah,
just start from here.
Yeah.
No.
Have fun with that, bud. Because I know I'd probably make it to like mile 30 and I'd be fucked up.
Well, and then you like wake up the night, you're like, wait, we got to run again today?
Yeah. But, dude. Anyways, we probably should be wrapping this up today, brother. We're already at 2 hours.
Are we?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Time flies.
So, yeah, just let us know social media. You can talk into that microphone there.
So,
where can they find you?
Social media, at Robby Hargreaves on Instagram, at Solving Skate Shop on Instagram and TikTok. Also, solvingskateshop.com website coming soon. It is almost up. Well, it's up. It just there's a couple things I got to work out before I make the website live. Also, Solving Skate Shop on YouTube. That is another channel that I'm trying to kind of utilize more of. It's a lot for one person, so bear with me. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, dude, thanks for coming out. Thanks for coming back on the podcast. That was fun. We got to dive deep into multiple directions. Robby's going to be running across America after starting Sunday.
No. Let's, dude, also, something we didn't talk about. I started doing jujitsu.
Yeah.
And like, it's been honestly pretty fun. Like I've only gone to 2 classes, just because of my travel and everything, but like, it's definitely been on my mind. Like, oh man, I want to like get back to another class. And like, it's super fun. It's like, fun. It's really fun. Like, I think like the body mechanics and awareness that, I have through skateboarding kind of helps and is kind of symbiotic with jujitsu. So,
that rock climbing, all of it, like being able to do chess in the middle of the storm, the eye of the tornado, it's like it's a whole different beast. Yeah. And then it's like relearning your kickflip, a bunch of stuff. And once again, it goes into body awareness and just being very tactical or analytical with your learning skill sets and where you sit on human.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Well, I'm proud of you, dude. It's freaking awesome. It's cool to see you taking on new ventures and then not taking age as a disease and like being able to go things full force and still train like you're in your 20s.
Yeah, man, it feels really good. Like just, just not letting yourself succumb to like, oh, I was born on this day and I'm this old, like I really don't use the word work. I kind of like kick myself when I do that. I do all the things I love. I try to not do anything that I don't enjoy. I facilitate my business. I don't work at Solving Skate Shop. Mm-hmm. I'm not on payroll. I don't get a paycheck. I make the money work where it needs to go. Mm-hmm. And I think it's important for me to kind of remain that way because otherwise I think some of the fun that lives in the world of everything I'm doing would be taken away if I start focusing on like, how much money am I making this week? How many boards did we sell? Did we sell enough t-shirts? Like, luckily, my operational costs are low.
100%. And what are 3 tips or skills that you think the guest could take from that brilliant mind of yours? So, like, just three tips that you give out to the audience.
Don't be your own worst enemy. Be nice to others and yourself. love God first.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for coming on, brother. I love and appreciate you. It's fun to see your journey, and thank you all for listening. Thank you for all the subscribes. Thank you for the comments, the shares. Without all your guys' support, this podcast wouldn't be anything but a video on YouTube. Just remember to get out of our minds and into our hearts. Get back on those skateboards. Have a great day, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for having me.